Good afternoon, dear fellow managers. First of all, I would like to say thank you for joining our virtual meeting today. Today, we have Ena, Faridatul, Ladia, and Iza together with me to discuss on the question regarding our human resource current issues. I believe the questions has been given out to all of us beforehand, right? So, shall we start?
Yes,
Yes,
sure.
yeah.
Okay, the first question is, what is the most critical border that we must cross in our current situation as a manager? I'll go first, yeah. For question number one, I would like to talk about the cultural border. Issues that happen in cultural borders are the struggles that executives face in adapting to unfamiliar cultural environments. Adapting to a new environment can be difficult, especially when working abroad. Most people who live in a foreign country for some time go through an adjustment period during which culture shock is experienced. So, in my opinion, a recommendation for this culture shock is to keep an open mind and look at things from other perspectives. For example, if coworkers act differently than I expect, I will consider their background and culture that influence their behavior. Next, Miss Ladia, I would like to address this question to you.
Thank you, Miss Christine, and thank you also for your opinion. As for me, other than cultural borders, issues also arise in functional borders, where they tend to have divergent functional backgrounds. This is because people from various backgrounds may actually change the behavior of a group's social majority in ways that lead to better and more accurate group thinking, but it may give a negative impact such as misunderstanding regarding their opinions. For example, subordinates in an organization are forced to accept the instructions of superiors even when the matter is bothering them, even though the decision made is for the common good. Thank you. That's it from me.
Thank you, Miss Ladia, for your response. So, what is your solution regarding the issue?
So, as a solution, as a manager for the divergent functional background, I need to tolerate another culture by learning their value so any misunderstanding can be avoided as well as creating a peaceful environment. I will act more responsible towards the decision or instruction that I give towards the workers by considering their ability on the task. Thank you.
Anyone else want to share their thought? Maybe Miss Iza have anything to say?
Thank you, Miss Christine. I respect both of your opinion, Miss Ladia and Miss Christine. But in my opinion, the most critical border that we must cross in our current situation as a manager is psychological and political. This is because clashing psychological styles is an issue of psychological border. People in an organization have different preferences on how to get things done. This is often the biggest cause of conflict in the workplace as employees are ignited by emotion and perception about somebody else's motive and character. Other than that, conflicting corporate agendas are issues that happen in political borders. Usually, it happens because of rivalry over potential or real incompatible needs of the company or organization. Parties frequently mistakenly believe that in order to meet the needs of their company, the needs of their employees must be sacrificed. That's all my opinion on the issue. Thank you.
So, how do you cope with the issues?
To cope with this issue, as a manager, I must be adaptive in my approach to a complicated issue in order to tackle this problem. When dealing with a conflict, the best approach to solve the issue is by figuring out an agreement between the parties. The conversation will primarily focus on the disagreements, but resolution is only possible if I, as the manager, can find points of agreement. I would come away from the experience with some positive rather than all negative. For example, if some members of the group disagree about the new sales tactics, I might acknowledge what I like about the other person's idea or the motivation to work harder for the team. Looking for agreement demonstrate a willingness to find common ground and build a relationship based on trust. As a result of our desire to achieve it, it is preferable to be open to rapid or unexpected change, and to be flexible in unfamiliar cultural situations. Most significantly, instead of shying away from new and unexpected situations, managers should face unfamiliarity and uncertainty with confidence. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ladia and Iza, for the contribution for question number 1. Now we move on to question 2. Question 2 is, does the lack of technical expertise preventing you from taking part in critical meetings? Can I have Ms. Farida to share her thought on this question?
Sure. Thank you, Miss Christine. So as for me, I think we still need to taking part in critical meeting because I think we still can learn in the meeting even though we are lack in technical expertise. So the issue in the problem is as a business expands globally, managers' ability to communicate and collaborate across border must be pushed to the limit. Living in the globalization and digitalization that speedily change where business are expand globally in a rapid way require an employee to acquire technical expertise, whether in technology or knowledge or skill. So means manager need to be prepared and be able to overcome any problem that they'll face onward and help work efficiently. So as a manager, I should have a high of technical skill in organization. Technical skill are ability and knowledge that enable managers to use a variety of techniques to achieve their goals. So my recommendation to improvise technical expertise are attending seminars and training as well as reading available literature can help because this method used by HR personnel to compensate for a lack of technical background. Aside from recruiting, technical expertise might be useful for formulating policy of the company or relatable in. This technical expertise, knowledge and skill in this field will help to work efficiently and lead a team or employee to achieve the goal that parallel with the company objective. That is my recommendation. That's all.
Thank you, Ms. Farida. I agree with you because today's work environment is dynamic and complex, right? So to deliver long-term and cost-effective alternatives to difficult problems in workplace, technical expertise are required too. Now, without further ado, Ms. Anna, what do you think about question number 3? I'll read it out loud for you, yeah? Do your co-workers' personalities have very opposed to your personality style from yours?
Thank you, Miss Christine. For me, yes, my coworkers definitely have very opposite personality than mine. This is because as businesses expand globally, the people that involved in this business is not just from domestic employees, but it also involving from other employees from different countries. So when we're talking about personality style, it is definitely that each of us have many different personality that may give an advantage to a company, such as creating a balance in the workplace, but it can be quite challenging at times too, since it may lead to some arising issues in the organizations. For instance, myself, I am an extroversion personality where I am a talkative person, assertive, energetic, and basically I'm quick in approaching people. So when I'm looking at my coworkers, they are definitely have a very personality than mine. Like one of my coworkers, he tends to concern in many different things. He has a significant mood swing and had a trouble to start a conversations with people. So when this thing happen due to the personality differences between us, it can impact our relationship as well as to lead some arising issues like leading to misunderstanding between employees, delayed tasks, as well as having trouble to communicate between employees. So indirectly or directly, this issue can impact our cooperation to work together in order to achieve the corporate objective. So as a manager, it is essential for us to cope with this issue. So the way I handle this issue is by having to try to take some time to have one-on-one conversation with my coworkers. Basically, these conversations is not about being critic or agreeing with them, but instead it will be full of supportive motivations and empathy. Next, I also try to put myself in their situations to try to understand what the situations that they are going through. And not only that, I also try to learn to know and understand the reason behind their behaviors, attitudes, or actions so that I can provide a better solution for them to be a better employees for the company, as well as the company objective can be achieved too. So I think that's all from me regarding to the issues. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Miss Anna, for your opinion just now. Okay, I think we've
Welcome.
covered everything on the list. So I guess that will be all for today. See you guys on next meeting. Goodbye and thank you.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you
Goodbye.
for your cooperation.
Thank you.